Benny McCarthy telling us what went wrong. And let's now switch gears, still on matters football, to Shitera. We have the FKF Premier League. It's 2 matches to go, and we see Police having a grip on the title for the first time, and they might actually go ahead and win. They have 61 points, Gor have 55 points. Tusker is not in contention with 55 points as well, unless they score like I think 13-14 goals in the next 2 matches, but they're out of contention. It's between Police and Gor, and it's come down to these 2 matches, and it might even go to the last match to the wire. When is the last time you saw this kind of competition in the Kenyan Premier League?
It's a very long time, because Gor Mahia has been dominating as if they have been playing alone in the Premier League. So give it to Police, the organization that has been brought by the Kenya Police side, really a very good thing to live up to in the Kenya Premier League. And Gor Mahia have that very small window of opportunity, just in case Police will slip on the job. But again, I just want Kenya Police to do it, to bring that change that anyone can do it. Because Shabana have been, would have caused an upset had they organized their season so well as Kenya Police. I think it would have been Gor Mahia, Kenya Police, and Shabana. Tusker, as always, too close yet too far, because there have been that difference in color when Gor Mahia are not so well, because the last decade you could be talking of Gor Mahia, Gor Mahia, Gor Mahia, Gor Mahia, Tusker, Gor Mahia, Gor Mahia, Gor Mahia, you see? Yeah. So I think it's a good thing to have in the Kenya Premier League competition. I challenge FC Leopards. When is the last time they even challenged?
Came close.
They came close to challenging for the title.
Yeah.
My friend Dan Shikanda came with so much pomp and color, but again, I don't know what happened. Kwa mtaa we call it moto ya makaratasi. Inawaka sana, unafikiri itawaka lakini ikarudi ikapotea. So the promises, I think the next chair AFC Leopards should focus on, not necessarily winning the Premier League, but challenging. You see, you cannot win, but you can challenge. Yeah. So start with that. I think that is the next, the challenge I'm giving the next chairman, AFC Leopards, because now Shabana has brought in so much color in the Premier League. Kenya Police is bringing in another color in the Premier League, dislodging Ulinzi, because Ulinzi has sometime dominated the Premier League, but now they have fizzled out. Yeah. And I think the composition that you are having at Kenya Police, and you had the chairman, Munga, saying that for some time tutakuwepo, and I think that is the best and the best attitude to have when trying to push the boys towards winning it. And their last 2 matches is not easy, because they are having a match against Shabana.
Shabana, yes, and Shabana.
But again,
and again it's Gor Mahia.
But again, Shabana will rather give Kenya Police than Gor Mahia. It's like typically what happened in the English Premier League when Chelsea was playing Liverpool. And Manchester United just wanted Liverpool to win against Chelsea, and they would win the Premier League. And Liverpool gave it away. And so that is the rivalry that is boiling back in Kenya, and I love it.
Yeah. And to Zedeka, we see Police needing just 1 point from the 2 matches. Shabana, and we have Gor Mahia in the last match. What has taken Police this far in the league? Is it because Gor and maybe Tusker dropped points at some point going into this final leg, or is it maybe the strategic recruitments that they've done? What has brought Police this far?
I think when looking at Police, we don't have to look at them this season. We start looking at them 3 seasons back. How are they planning? How are they recruiting? And if you look at them right now, there's a sense of order, good organization, good structures. And that is what has propelled them up to this time. And I believe the trophy is theirs to lose, because now they should be popping, because if they slip against Shabana, then
Yeah.
The last game of the season against Gor, it's going to be a very, very tricky game.
A game that might be taken to Homa Bay.
Yes.
But they didn't win against FC Leopards.
Yeah.
I think
In Homa Bay.
So,
You see, it's just that intimidation. Yeah.
and you see, that is what we need in sports, and the confidence from the chairman that they're going to be there.
Yeah.
They're not going away. And I believe once they test it, trust you me, they're not going to go away. And it's a challenge also to Ulinzi because they had it. And now they need to bring that structure back.
Yeah.
To FC Leopard, I think it's going to be difficult, even if they get a new chairman, to come in because there are so many voices in the boardroom. And when that is happening, then there's no order, there's no organization, there's no sense of direction. And I believe what is giving police that sense of direction, even in Gor this year, that is why they're losing. Because look at the game they lost to Moranga.
Yeah.
You see,
Talanta.
look at the game they lost to Talanta. Look at the draws they picked against Nairobi City Stars.
I lost to City Stars.
You see, those are things that Gor never used to, and it's because they have like had 3 managers. Now Zeko is there, and they're like, okay, this guy has to go. They need to bring in somebody else.
Yeah.
I think police, let's give flowers to the coach because when he came in, the police was actually uko relegation.
Yes.
The team was in uko relegation.
But pia ligi ndio ilikuwa
and
inaanza.
people were saying, ligi ilikuwa inaanza, but games mmecheza kadhaa, but mko relegation. It shows that the coach came in with the leadership because he knew he's going to meet senior players. Most of the players who are playing for police, they're senior players. And you need to know how to handle a senior player in a certain way. So I think his leadership and coming in and just giving out the consistencies that they've been having, like even winning 1-0, that is a win. 1-0, that is a win. But again, let's just give the coach his flowers that what he has done there. And then the management, as Coach Zedekia has said, man, if you have a boardroom that has voices, you cannot go anywhere. Yeah. But again, if you have authority in every boardroom that you have, like if in this direction, all of us are going this direction, that is what it's being needed in each and every, let's say, all these, the chairmanship in all these teams and everything. So for me, Kenya Police are in the right direction. I know in the coming even, in the now, after winning the league, we look at the Continental now. How are they going to perform in the Continental? Are they going to perform like Gor Mahia? Because Gor Mahia, we are in the Continental, we are used to wanatoka group stage, bora wameonja group stage, wamerudi home. So let us now, they should start planning for the Continental because they only need 1 point. They only need a draw against Shabana and they're in, win because they for now they have the same points with Gor Mahia and 2 games remaining. They have actually 6 points. 6 points.
Adrift,
so they just need that 1 point to make them the champion.
Yeah. So
Mukaze to draw.
Yeah.
So if I chime in,
and also as you chime in, does this competition really tell us that the league has come of age, that the league is actually growing?
Yes, to an extent the league is growing. One, the status quo is being upset.
Yeah.
The last from 2011. 14 years, the dominance has been by Gor Mahia and Tusker.
Yeah.
It is good to upset the status quo, to change everything. So the new boys on the block, Kenya Police, who joined the league barely 3 or 4 years ago, are upsetting.
But it's not 100%.
It's maybe we can employ an objective or subjective test to establish that. Now, Tusker and Gor Mahia, who have been dominating, are now chasing after Kenya Police. It's good. You asked Shitera a question. When is the last time we witnessed this? The last time must have been in 2011 and 2012. 2011, when Tusker won the last day in Mumias against Congo United. And then 2012 in Kawangware, when they beat, was it World Hope?
World Hope.
Hope. And then Gor Mahia was losing in...
no, Gor Mahia drew against Thika United.
Thika.
Yeah, at City Stadium.
Yes.
Thika
And there was a serious mourning at City Stadium.
Yeah.
So I think, in my view, perhaps, even this league being won on the last day would be good for adrenaline. You know, Shitera made a suggestion that perhaps Shabana would let it easy for Kenya Police. I do not think, if they let it easy, it amounts to much manipulation. They should not let it easy.
Yeah.
Let just the match be played. I love what Shabana is doing. Shabana's introduction is great and healthy for this league, and indeed our league is growing.
You see match manipulation. Match manipulation. There's some incentives involved. But in this match, there is no incentive. No one has coerced Shabana to lose against Kenya Police.
You are the one who brought it here. So, what am I saying? Let Shabana give a good fight. Let the stakeholders be treated to a great match. Let us see what Shabana can offer in defense. And then perhaps if it will even be merrier and sweeter if police bag it on the last day. Whether it will be in Siaya Stadium, whether it will be in Homa Bay Stadium. It will be good to see Gor Mahia Gor Mahia fans giving a standing ovation to Kenya Police.
Yeah.
Lastly, let us give it up to the organization of what the National Police Service is generally doing. There's an aura of change. You know,
in football,
not necessarily football, in sports. What the officers are doing. Yeah. Look at what the GSU unit has done in volleyball. Look at what the DCI queens are doing. In my view, in fact, some of the persons who are in charge of these sporting disciplines in the police, they should now challenge Parliament to increase budgetary allocations, so that now
for sports
within the forces. Yeah. Particularly now for the police, so that now they can also be able to give greater incentives. The team can be packaged in a manner that it's magnetic enough to attract different and even expensive talents. Remember, Kenya Police motto, what I gather, is policing through sports. And now, how do they police through sports? They integrate civilians towards their teams, so that now they can partner in achieving part of their obligations in policing. Yeah. So if there can be greater incentives and increase in the budgetary allocations, get a bigger number of persons, like what APR is doing. In fact, if you study the APR model in Rwanda, and if it can be employed here in Kenya, then we can really be speaking about commercialization of sports.
Yes. And to Zita, maybe lastly on this topic, we saw Zico has already thrown in the towel and is now focusing on the FKF Cup. Was it, how does this augur well? Does it augur well with actually the players, considering maybe some of the players think they have a slim chance of winning, but their coach says this is gone to police.
A Maresca moment.
Let's just focus on the FKF Cup. Yes, they have a smallest.
Anyway, they could also lose that.
I think they thought they could
still lose it.
I think they thought they're going to win it, to win the Mashemeji Derby. I think that is where they knew things are going the highway. Because playing against Mashemeji Derby, that was a bigger platform, and they really wanted the 3 points. But again, FC Leopards, and that's why they removed even the game from here to where to Homa Bay. But again, but again, after that draw, he knew that he cannot catch up with police. But again, at the end of it, a coach, you need to give your players hope.
Yeah.
As when you're talking, you need to give them, don't be like a Chelsea coach mwenye anasemanga hata ligi ijaanza ikikombe ilishaenda.
Alishinda kikombe. Alishinda kikombe for information.
Just, I think, giving the player hope, like, hata unajua player akiona coach anajipiga kifua, it gives that morale to the player that, yes, we are going to win this. Of course, we have to push it because the coach has said we are going to do this. He knows the tactics that he wants to use, and we will win this. But again, that is his opinion. Maybe alikuwa ameshaona mbele what will happen, and then all the best, because they're going to meet Nairobi United in the FKF Cup. All the best to them. But again, Nairobi United is not a team to play with, because imetoa Tusker, imetoa like all the big boys.
Big boys, yeah.
Yes, it's like they've kicked out all the big boys, and now they're going to meet with Gor Mahia. So they should not.
This is another big boy.
Yes, another big boy.
Actually, Nairobi United can pull what Mathare did. You know, Mathare United, there's a time they won what right now the Mozart Cup. Back then it was called my Golden Cup. Mathare bagged it when they were still playing at the National Super League.
Yes.
Should be in 98, 99.
Yeah. They won it in 1998 when Coach Francis Kimanzi, Asman Ngaiwa, Ezekiel Akwana,
yes.
Kina Morris Wambua were are really the backbone of that Mathare United.
So if
Nairobi United can pull it,
they can still do it.
In fact, I think Mathare United beat FC Leopards in the final.
No. Eldoret KCC.
KCC.
Yeah.
But the following year they beat FC Leopards.
Not in the finals. The previous year is...
They beat FC Leopards in 1998.
KCC is the team.
Yes. Yeah, indeed, gentlemen, we now need to move on to... we are running a bit of time, but it's a conversation we'll keep online. Remember, our socials are hashtag Sporty Monday and Citizen TV Kenya on X as well. Let's now shift gears from matters football to matters swimming. Now, the Kenya Aquatics